Hey guys, it's Ollie, and I'm back with another beginner's Java tutorial, and this tutorial is going to be on letting your user select whether they want to add, subtract, multiply, or divide in your calculator program. And this was a question, I think, on the forums about how we could get the user to specify whether to plus, minus, subtract, or divide, and this is basically an answer to that. So there are many ways you can do this. You can do them in separate methods. You can make methods for subtract, add, divide, all of that. At the moment, though, I'm just going to be using it in the main method, and we're going to use some simple if statements. First of all, we need two numbers, and these numbers are going to be added together, or times together, or subtracted or divided. So we have integer a, and then we can make a comma to make another of the same type of variable, and we'll say b. So we now have two integer variables called a and b. So now we need a string variable, and string is text, if you remember from the last tutorial, or rather previous tutorials. And in the string variable, the user is going to enter I don't know what to call it, the symbol, I guess, and that will be plus, minus, subtract, or divide. And this is going to be a string, and we'll call it operator for the math operator, or maths operator. And now we're going to make some if statements. Or actually, first of all, we'll make our scanner, because we're going to scan the user input. And we'll do that now. Scanner, which we import, scanner s equals new scanner, and we are scanning system.in, which is the input that the user puts into the system. So now that we have this, we want to... Actually, I'm going to make a quick method, because I don't want to type out system out print line loads of times. So I'm going to make a public static void method, and it's going to be called log, and we take one string variable, which is s, and then we just say system.out.println, and then print out s. And all that does, it's a much quicker way of doing system out print line. From now on, we can just write log and then type whatever we want to say in there. So first of all, we're going to say log, which is the method we just made, and we're going to say please enter a maths equation using, and then we'll say plus, minus, times, or divide. And then now we're going to let the user enter in their whatever they want to enter in their maths equation. So we'll now say a, which is the integer we made earlier, equals s dot next int, and we'll then say our operator is equal to s dot next, which is the next string that they enter, and then we say b is equal to s dot next int, so the next integer after the one that we wrote, that they put in first. So far it's going to say please enter a maths equation, and we can enter whatever numbers, we can enter number a, then an operator, then number b. So now this is going to be a simple program. There's going to be lots of holes in it, so maybe you guys can think yourself how you can upgrade it to make it nice running smoothly. But now we want to check whether the user wants to add, minus, subtract, times, or divide. And this is going to be done with several if statements, and we're going to say if the operator, which is the string they entered, and now we can use a built-in method for the string, and we do this by pressing the dot, and then now we can access methods from the string, and the method we're going to use is contains. So now we need to type in something that the thing they type in, we want to check if it contains a plus, a minus, a divide, or a subtract, and we're going to do that four times for all of the different operators. We'll do plus first. So if the operator contains plus, which means, in other words, if they typed in the plus character, then we are going to say a plus b, and we'll say int answer. We'll actually delete that int, and we'll add a new one up here. We'll put another comma and say answer. So answer is equal to a plus b if the operator the user enters was a plus. And then we can print out that answer by saying log answer. And this is going to say, this is going to have an error because this is an integer and we are looking for a string, and we can get around this by simply putting an empty string and then putting a plus to add that variable onto it. So now that we've done this, we can literally just copy this method and we're going to paste it 4 times. So we've done plus. The second case, if it contains a subtract, we are going to subtract the numbers. If it contains a times, we're going to times the numbers. And if it contains a divide, we're going to divide the numbers. Now obviously you're probably already thinking there could be many errors with this, such as what if they type in all 4 of the operators, then it's going to run all 4 of them, and then it will display lots of different answers on the screen, and other things like what if they don't type an actual operator. But maybe you guys can think of ways that you can improve that, maybe with more if statements and else statements. So we can run this now, and it says please enter an equation using plus, minus, times, or divide. And we need to separate all of our things with spaces. So I'm going to say 10 plus 10. And now if I hit enter, you can see we come out with the answer 20, because it's seen that my first number was 10, and then it ignores the space. It sees the next string I write is plus, and it also sees that the next int I write after that is a 10, so it does 10 plus 10. So now if I can run this again, and I can say 10 times 10, and the answer is going to be 100. So now we'll test it out with all of them. I'm going to use 15 minus 7, and that equals 8. And now we'll test out our divide. So a huge number divided by 5 equals that other huge number. So now that we've got this nice and working, you guys can go off and add some maybe more if statements to validate it better. And once you've done that, you could maybe post it on the forums in the show off section to show your nicely fully working calculator. And I'll give you a clue to start off. You will, after all of these, you will want to make an if statement to check, first of all, if the user has actually entered any of these characters. Second of all, to check if they've entered more than one. And third of all, you're going to want, if they've done any of those things, you're going to want them to retype. You're going to want them to be able to retype their numbers and answers, and you do that with a while loop. So you guys can go off and do that. Hopefully you'll be able to now. I've taught you enough. But that is pretty much it for this tutorial, guys. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you enjoyed this, and there are more tutorials to come for sure. So subscribe, join the forums if you need any help.